Zora. He's here. I found him. But something's wrong. I can't attack him. I'm powerless. Need you to stay here and watch out for strange things happening. Tell them more about it later. But hang on a minute.
If there's anything you need, just let me know.
Sorry, I'd like to rent a room, please.
Sure thing. It's yours for a day. I'll show you to your room. Right this way.
Okay.
Let me know if there's anything else you need.
Thanks. Right, Zora. Got a room.
How long are we going to let Ranmir drink himself into a... stupor? When will enough be enough?
Ready to
As long
move?
as he keeps paying, I suppose. He keeps
Yeah,
himself
stop
and isn't
it.
hurting anyone.
Oh, are you sure of that? I think Birna might disagree with you.
It's not my place to get involved in their family's business, remember? You're the one that told me to stay out of it.
This scene looks comfortable.
Can I help you?
What's on the menu?
Just what you see here.
I'll get back to you. My stomach's being very finicky.
Right, Zora. It's had a massive shock. Right, once you look into things, you stay in the room for now. Just be on your guard, that's all I'm saying. Right, be back soon.
Watch what you're doing.
Excuse me, I just had a bit of a shock, so... Ooh.
Are we running low on meat?
No, even Ranmir can only drink so much.
Let's just keep an eye on the supply. It's such a chore to restock.
I suppose that's a benefit to having so few customers.
Yes?
Right, if I'm going to do this, we better. Try and pose as a student then. Sorry, I'll get back to my studies.
Much knowledge lies within the college's walls.
Yes. Other things too. If I can find out what he's up to, perhaps I can overcome this feeling of helplessness. Right. It's going to get changed. Missing appendices. Missing Isra or Stay, Borbur or Runde. Speak to me at once. Finish guest door. Okay. See what's in here. Well, definitely my room. Okay, let's change it to these rooms then, shall we? Well, hopefully that's suitable as guys to pose as a student here. I'll take a pair of gloves, I think, because somewhere. Anyway, let's get back to class, shall we? Pose a student here and find out what Caro's up to.
Please don't bother the Archmage unless it's absolutely necessary.
Understood. Right, that's better. Hello.
You are new here, are you not? We have not spoken.
No, sir.
Sir? How quaint. I am Savos Arin, Archmage of the College of Winterhold. I am quite content to see nearly any aspect of magic explored and investigated here. But I do not and will not approve of any research or experiments that cause purposeful harm to your fellow members of the college. Are we clear?
Well, it's dangerous research a problem here.
Not often, no. Some risks must be taken, to be sure. I am simply trying to avoid untimely deaths.
Huh.
We also must make an effort to avoid worsening what Skyrim thinks of us.
So, the purpose to learn magic, correct?
Purpose? I should think it's self-evident. Magic is a true power, not something to be shunned by commoners, or treated as an amusing diversion by politicians. It shapes worlds, creates and destroys life. It deserves proper respect and study. The college is a place where we can focus on that, without the pressures of the world weighing down on us.
So tell me more about this college's history.
I've seen documents dating back to the late Second Era. Beyond that, it's hard to say. Events in the last several hundred years resulted in a significant loss of our history, I'm afraid.
So what happened in the last few hundred years?
The Great Collapse, as it has come to be known. An unfortunate natural disaster that ravaged the area. The college fared far better than the city of Winterhold, but it was not left untouched.
So what caused the Great Collapse?
No one is sure of the cause. Some believe the eruption of Red Mountain had far-reaching consequences that were only felt years later. I know there are some who have blamed the college, said that we were responsible. I assure you this is not the case.
Anything else you can tell me?
The Sea of Ghosts practically came alive. No one was expecting it. Monstrous waves battered the shore for weeks on end. Winterhold was ancient and weathered, but it couldn't withstand the sea's fury. Entire districts of the city were lost overnight. The waves receded in time, but the damage was irreversible. Most residents of Winterhold abandoned what was left of the city. The college survived, and so here we remain.
Okay,
Until next time.
thank you, Master Samus. Right. That's Arcanium, where Mirabelle told me the library is. Quarters, okay. He's looking the other way. No, he's not. I better not act too suspiciously here.
Welcome, welcome.
Sorry I'm late.
We were just beginning. Please, stay and listen. So, as I was saying, the first thing to understand is that magic is, by its very nature, volatile and dangerous. Unless you can control it, it can and will destroy you.
Sir, I think we all understand that fairly well. We wouldn't be here if we couldn't control magic.
Of course, my dear, of course. You all certainly possess some inherent natural ability. That much is not being questioned. What I'm talking about is true control, mastery of magic. It takes years, if not decades, of practice and study.
Then what are we waiting for? Let's get started.
Please, please. This is exactly what I'm talking about. Eagerness must be tempered with caution, or else disaster is
And
inevitable.
we've only just arrived here. You've no idea what any of us are capable of. Why not give us a chance to show you what we can do?
You've been quiet so far. What do you think we should do?
Sorry? Sorry, this is all new to me. Just arrived and I'm a little bit overwhelmed, to be honest. Sorry, not really sure actually. What's the question?
Not going to weigh in either way? I admire your restraint, but there are times when you must make decisions, even without all the facts. Rely on instinct.
We're all pretty new at this, right? Let's just give it a chance. What's the worst that could happen?
All right, let's settle down. I suppose we can try something practical. In continuing with our theme of safety, we'll start with wards. Wards are protective spells that block magic. I'll teach you all a ward, and we'll see if you can successfully use it to block spells, all right? Would you mind helping me with a demonstration? Are you at all familiar with ward spells?
I've got a ward spell, but I've never used it. I'm not familiar with their use.
That's what this lesson is for. Perfect time to try it out. Now, if you'll just stand right over there, I'll cast a spell at you, and you block it with the ward. Here we go.
What?
Over there, please, just opposite me. Wouldn't want anyone else in the way.
Oh, right, okay, here.
Now, cast the ward spell and keep it up.
What? Oh, the word spell. Right, okay. Alteration, is it? Ah, there we are. Restoration. It was an alteration spell. Sorry, I'm more familiar with word spells, as I said. Right.
You have to keep your ward up, or else this won't work. I don't want to hurt you. Over there, please, just opposite me. Wouldn't want anyone else in the way. Now, cast the ward spell and keep it up. Hold still. Excellent work. Well, I think this is an excellent start. I'd like you all to continue practicing with wards, please. I think perhaps we're ready to begin exploring some of the various applications of magic throughout history. The college has undertaken a fascinating excavation in the ruins of Sarthal nearby. It's an excellent learning opportunity. I suggest we meet there in a few hours and see what awaits us inside. That's all for now. Thank you.
Sarthal. Right. Uh-oh. Oof. Oh. Walked into the wall.
Good to see you.
Can you tell more about wards?
The key to wards is that they take time to charge. Not long, but you can't start casting with a fireball coming at you. Also, if your ward isn't negated by an incoming spell, it will recharge itself after a moment or two. Just be careful. Casting wards requires constant concentration, and you can easily find yourself drained of your magica reserves.
Yeah, well, that was simple ward, but it was pretty draining actually. Right, thank you, Master Toltier.
All right then.
Why is he here? Has he been here all this time? Conversation with Mirabelle said he was something to do with the Ambassador Elwyn sent him here. With a liaison or something. It's not read already, yeah. There's more to this than meets the eye. Hello.
Enchanting services are one of the few things that keep us in touch with the rest of Skyrim.
Yeah, hello, I'm kind of new here, so just trying to find my way around. Anything I can help with?
In fact, there is. I need a soul gem filled, if you're up to it.
Yeah, sure, I can, got a bit of knowledge about soul gems, actually.
Here, take this grand soul gem. Fill it for me, and bring it right back. I'll be waiting.
Grand soul gem, okay. Actually, I've already got some grand soul gems. Would one of these do?
Excellent, thank you. I'll see that this gets put to good use.
I have enchanted some stuff myself, so I use the grand soul gems all the time, really.
Stay safe.
Okay, thank you.
Eleanor, the library is in disarray. When books are strewn about here and there, it makes it impossible to determine if a book's been checked out.
I'm sorry. It's just the professors come in here and scatter the books without any concern for the person who has to clean up. I thought it might be more efficient if I waited until the end of the day to put the books back on the shelves.
You know, they say knowledge is its own
the end
reward.
of the day as well.
You can see me?
Of course.
Confound it all, I was quite sure I was invisible. Or at least transparent.
So I take it you're illusion master here, or learn spells, whatever. What's the best illusion spells, do you think? I'll tend to use muffle quite a fair bit.
Oh my, that's quite a difficult question. Never underestimate the ability to influence others. Whether they're friends or foes, they're almost all susceptible to illusion spells. They can turn the tide of a battle in a moment's notice. There are also spells that help in avoiding conflict altogether. Invisibility is tricky to master, but exceptionally useful.
Yes. Anything I can assist you with?
There may be a matter in which your skills could be useful. The various points of focus for magic energies around the college have become polluted and need cleansing.
Right. Okay, I'll do that.
Very well. These specially enchanted gloves will allow you to delve directly into the focal points for these energies.
Okay.
Go to each focal point and remove whatever impurities you may find there. Return the gloves to me when you have finished. Please exercise caution. This is not a procedure without possible consequences.
Consequences. Okay.
Good day.
Yeah. Sorry, I wasn't ignoring you. I was a bit distracted. Mystic tuning gloves. Well, I've got a pair of gloves at least. These are not a while. Not too bad actually. Hello.
Are you here to check out a book? Talk to Master Groshub.
You work here?
I'm Master Groshub's apprentice. While I've been trained in the library arts, at the moment my duties are rather limited.
Why is that?
There isn't much that Master can't handle already. I'm more of an understudy, someone who takes over if and when he retires. Which at this rate will be anywhere between someday and never.
So you don't think that the librarian will ever retire, do you?
No, and it's not an exaggeration. I know Master Groshub looks old, well, because he is. Way too old for an orc.
An orc?
The rumor around here is that he's immortal. As in, he measures time by the era. Which means unless I start a competing library, I'm stuck being an apprentice forever.
Well, there's a thought. Competing library sounds like a great idea though, doesn't it?
Well, I meant it as a joke, but if you say so.
So tell me more about the library.
The Arcanium is a very prestigious library, with many of its books going back to the Second Era. The more delicate tomes are kept under lock and key, but you're welcome to browse the outer collection at your leisure.
Okay. Can any of these books be bought here?
Master Groshub has a list of books unfit for the collection. Frivolous works by academic standards, but still interesting reads. Talk to him if you want more information.
Okay. So what's your responsibility as an apprentice here?
Recently, I've been tasked with updating the college dictionary, which is a thankless but important job.
Dictionary?
Dictionaries are critical tools for preserving language, and they allow future generations to communicate with their ancestors.
Isn't a dictionary more or less static though? Once you've written things down, that's it?
Not necessarily. Master says spoken language is a living, breathing organism, always evolving and shedding old skin. In contrast, the written word is both living and dead. It's filled with babies and grandparents. My job is to introduce you to them.
Have you run into any difficulties with updating this dictionary?
Just one. In the interest of efficiency, Master insists that I only make updates when there are at least 10 new words worth adding.
Right.
Well, if he's going to be so rigid about it, I'm going to speed the process by developing some of my own.
Well, making words is quite fun. Can I help with that?
As much as I appreciate it, only a trained librarian is allowed to introduce new words into the annals.
Oh. Okay, give me an example of one of these new words.
Sure. You know how people use animals as verbs or gerunds? Like ferreting out, or squirreling about, or wolfing down.
Yeah.
Well, I thought, why not apply the same logic to trolls? I find trolls to be very fierce, but honest creatures.
Honest?
The way I see it, trolling could mean stating your opinion, but with honesty and passion. You know, the same way a troll fights.
Yeah, I don't think it'll catch on.
That's because it's still fresh. It takes time for these things to really sink in.
Trolling. So, any rumours around here then?
Just the one. Let's just say Neri and Faralda are having Sergius enchant more than just items.
Well, you look so old though.
Neri and Faralda are Altmer. They may not look it, but Sergius is probably half their age.
Good point. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
All right then.
Oh.
If you require assistance with summoning techniques, please let me know.
No
If you
summoner.
would, please also contain your summons to the college grounds. The locals do not need to be agitated further by Atronachs roaming their town. The summoning of undead is even less advisable outside the college.
There's no fear of that from me, I'm no summoner. Oh, you're the guy that posted a notice about the sword. Sword from Tripleby. I picked it up on the way.
You've done well. Thank you. Here, this is for you.
I didn't know who he was. Nice.
There are few places where one can pursue my type of work without fear of persecution.
Well, I've met a few necromancers outside the college, so that's not really frowned on.
Not within society, no. Many who practice within the school of conjuration do so on their own, secretly. Thalion is the only one I know who is public about what he does. He was once my teacher here, but left the college years ago.
Yeah, bumped into Fally and he's in Morthal. Sorry if Fally leave the college anyway.
He didn't like the Archmage.
Alright.
Hated dealing with him. Hated having to answer to him. Thalion said he hated what this place was becoming, so he just left. Arin found a note on his desk, and that was it. I understand he settled down in Hjalmarch, and his presence there caused something of a problem.
Yeah. Yeah, I know someone else doesn't like taking orders. So something undead isn't frowned upon. It's not something I like.
I sure know. Those archaic policies died out with the Mages Guild, and were never enforced here. Necromancy, as any other type of magic, is a tool to be used. Of course, non-mages may not see it that way, so we don't go around flaunting it.
Okay. Thanks.
Now, if you'll excuse me.
Yeah, sorry. Hello.
You are now in the Arcanium, of which I am in charge. It might as well be my own little plane of oblivion. Disrupt my Arcanium, and I will have you torn apart by angry Atronachs. Now, do you require assistance?
Angry Atronachs. Quite an impressive library you have here. It's pretty large. Probably the largest one I've ever seen, actually.
A mage is only as good as what he knows. I try to make sure as much knowledge is available as possible. We've been keeping this collection since the Second Era. Books have come and gone during that time, but it's mostly intact.
Yeah, you seem to take your work very seriously.
Of course I do. If I didn't, most of these books would have been burned to ashes or dissolved to nothing before the Third Era. Mages need to be reminded to be careful around research materials.
Yeah, because they can get rather combustible, aren't they? I heard this might be the place that I might find some book about Snow Elven Exodus.
I don't know who told you that. What we do have are plenty of books. Take a look around. I'm sure you'll find what you're looking for. If not, let me know. I might have it stored away.
Okay.
I don't want to see you treating any of these books poorly. Are we clear?
I'm also looking for an Elder Scroll.
And what do you plan to do with it? Do you even know what you're asking about? Or are you just someone's errand girl?
Of course I know what I'm talking about. You have one here.
You think that even if I did have one here, I would let you see it? It would be kept under the highest security. The greatest thief in the world wouldn't be able to lay a finger on it.
You've got any information on them?
Of course. I'll bring everything we have on them. But it's not much. So don't get your hopes up. It's mostly lies, leavened with rumor and conjecture.
Anything special you're looking for?
As a matter of fact, there are. Have you ever heard of Shalador? Immensely powerful mage, back in the First Era. Had an understanding of magic few have ever matched. He holed himself up in Labyrinthian, and devoted all his time to research and study. But more than you would imagine possible. Since then, his writings have been scattered all over Skyrim, but are little use to anyone who can't translate them. I'm one of the few who can. I've heard whispers of more of his work having turned up. If you can track it down, it may prove useful to all of us.
Okay. Yeah, I've heard of Charlotte, well, passed through his labyrinth actually. Anything else going to help with the college business or something?
If you're feeling adventurous, I'm always looking for someone to procure valuable books from some more dangerous locations.
Well, I'm kind of new here, but I like to put my magic powers to the test, so yeah, okay.
Well, alright, here. I scribbled down the last place I'd heard about. Check it out, but be careful.
Right, anything for sale?
Assorted books, scrolls. I'm sure you'll find something useful.
What's he got? Alright, right, okay. Right.
Until next time.
Thank you, Jörg.
Here you go. Try not to spill anything on them.
Oh, right, okay, the book's about scrolls, sorry. Bits of Elder Scrolls, let's see. Scholars. The nails. Got it, intellect. Blind. Oh, that's so reading them can make you blind. That's not a very good thing, is it? Ancestor moths. Fogs. Right, okay. Understanding. Rules about reading. Well, that's like the monk in Fort Dawnguard. He didn't prepare himself properly. And he's went blind. Well, mind if I borrow that? Ruminations. Sickness. Strong sighted blessing. Who wrote this? Someone called Septimus Cygnus. Chicken inside the egg. What has all this got to do with reading scrolls? I think this guy must have read one himself. Looks at it. Yeah, what?
Hundreds of years have gone into assembling this collection. It's going to stay pristine, understand?
That Ruminations book is just a load of nonsense to me.
Aye, that's the work of Septimus Cygnus. He's the world's master of the nature of Elder Scrolls. But, well, he's been gone for a long while. Too long.
You mean he's dead?
Oh no, I hope not. But even I haven't seen him in years. And we were close. Became obsessed with the Dwemer. Took off north saying he had found some old artifact. Haven't seen him since. Somewhere in the ice fields, if you want to try to find him.
Oh, sound a bit tired. Right.
I don't want to see you treating any of these books poorly. Are we clear?
Yeah, we're clear. Thank you, Eric.
Fight well.
Okay. I don't think that's anything to do with Filmer's research there. I think he's got one of them books. Oh, a cape. I'll take that. You don't mind?
I wish Master Jarvis would make his books visible before returning them. Every time I approach him about an overdue book, it's the same story.
I mean, you can't find them. Yeah, well, I might search through these leaks later, but got other things to do. All doing is real. That's kind of appropriate, isn't it? Ah, wait a minute. What's this? I've got another Dasher Brandy Grill Scholar. Wrist club. Brandy. Well, looks like this guy liked brandy as much as I like mead. Weird. Oh, that's about the Thieves Guild. Yeah. The fall from glory. How long may it continue? Oh, sorry.
Confound it all! This page too! That makes 5 in total. This is unacceptable!
What's wrong?
A page from one of these texts, and 4 others. Torn right from the spine. I've consulted with Urog's apprentice girl, and she insisted, rather emphatically, that none of these tomes have been checked out for years. I told the girl that wouldn't preclude a thief from browsing the cases.
Well, mistakes happen. You shouldn't be so harsh on people.
I don't blame her, though. It's the head librarian's duty to keep more sensitive texts behind sealed doors. Or perhaps it's the fault of the one who trained him. In either case, the result is the same. It is as I feared. Someone has managed to steal key pages from the writings of Trictus.
Sorry, I don't know who this treacherous is. He might be some sort of nameless scribe or something, is he?
You need to brush up on your history. Or stop to listen when professors are lecturing. Although I admit Travis's voice is its own sleep spell. This nameless scribe you speak of is Vanus Galarion, founder of the Mages Guild.
What? How do you think Master Grosher made such an obvious error?
It is not an error. It's far more likely that Urag holds an opposing position regarding the substance of these texts. Not to mention a stubborn refusal to recognize that a controversial theory might actually have merit.
A controversial theory? What do you mean?
The majority of scholars are split between two disparate camps. Some believe the texts are worthless scribbles written by a child, one who had yet to grasp the vastness of his destiny. Others contend that the author is not Vanus himself, but a pretender hoping to profit from the mage's name. Both camps, however, are in agreement that the texts themselves have no intellectual merit.
Why search for them if scholars believe them worthless?
There are some, however, who attribute the text to a different origin. Not the young Trictus, but the elder Vanus Galarion. The theory states that Vanus wrote the text in the guise of his younger self, precisely so that scholars would question its authenticity. By diverting the eyes of those who seek power, it provided an extra layer of security, in addition to the cryptic nature of the text itself.
What exactly is in these texts?
I mentioned the pages from 5 separate texts were stolen. This is no coincidence. I'm sure you can divine why.
Hang on, there's 5 schools of magic, isn't there?
Exactly. According to the theory, there was purpose to Galarion's decision to divide his childhood journals into 5 parts. Contained within each was a tale that alluded to spells and techniques, authored by a specific school.
How do the schools of magic relate to the text, then?
It is well known that Galarion's gifts for magic were quite diverse. He could restore a rose to full bloom not long after burning it aflame, all the while fooling the mind into believing its scent had rotted away.
In other words, the spells that involve multiple disciplines.
The theory goes that Galarion was on the verge of completing 5 new spells, 1 for each school. Spells of such tremendous power that even the immortal armies of Manimarco would countenance their fear. Unfortunately, Galarion's obsession with his nemesis deprived him of his patience. Nevertheless, before he embarked on the great battle, he left notes encoded in 5 works, so others could continue his research.
So, any idea who stole the pages, then?
I have an inkling. I was able to glean some clues based on my interviews of the residents of Winterhold, who seem far more observant of mages than the faculty.
Yeah, I gathered that.
I sent my assistant, Jado Ra, to investigate the matter further, but I fear something grave has befallen him.
Jajora, right, well, I might try and find out what happened to him in the course of my travels.
Finally, someone with initiative. I need someone to scout the area he was investigating. Your safety is paramount. If the mage in question is at the site, do not attempt to confront him, even if Jado Ra is in imminent danger.
But don't we need your assistant alive to find out what he's learned?
The Khajiit is a crafty one. He will leave clues behind even in death. Yet if you sacrifice both your lives, both your efforts will be squandered.
Right, well, I'll see what I can find out, but it might take some time. I've got other things to do.
Good. Jado Ra last left for Solitude, but it is unlikely he is still there. I would start with the caverns near the shoreline. If you find him, and find him well, he may ask for a passphrase.
Well, if he's walking undercover, I can see how that passphrase would be useful.
Yes. The problem is, I seem to have forgotten that inscrutable Khajiit word he gave me. So in exchange, I ask you to tell him this. Tell him how, when I met him, I mocked his whiskers, how they were as black as an Imperial's hair. Tell him that his eyes are so narrow that even when he laughs he looks unhappy. Yet their color still shines as bright as the sun. And if he finds that too sentimental, tell him he was more valuable as a rug, and when he accidentally lights his fur on fire, he would no longer be worth anything to anyone.
Well, I'm definitely not taking any of them books, because Urag would probably skin my hide. Okay, right, I think I've enough exploring for now. Ah, okay. Let's see if I can do something with this elf. I was saying I need to act normal and pretend I'm a student here. I want to find out what Cano's doing here. At the moment I can't do anything against him. I don't know what he's did to me. Jura. Okay, where's that other door there? So let's back into the hall of attainment. All countenance. It does mean it's dark in here. Well, let's practice some magic, shall we? Ah. Chanter. Ah, an alchemy station, okay. Hello.
You consider restoration a valid school of magic, worthy of study, don't you? Don't you?
Of course it is. I use it all the time.
Good, good. Not that I require validation, of course. There are just some, and I shan't name names, who would disagree. It can make life difficult when one's colleagues fail to recognize the research one engages in.
So I take it you're kind of treated kind of disrespectfully because you have your restoration experience then?
Well, no, not really. Not directly, I mean. But I know things are being said behind my back. Conversations cease when I enter rooms. I'm quite aware of what's going on here, and I will not stand for it.
Okay.
All right, then.
Right. Nice to meet you. Spinning wheel. Okay. That's better. Now, what this is for? Okay. Ah, so that's what a focal point is. Okay. The rest of them are, but I'll find them as we go, I suppose.
Ugh! Been tending your hounds? You smell like a wet dog.
Yeah, it's just these new robes have kind of, I think we stored away for so long.
Good day.
Yeah. A pleasant evening. Okay. Well. Sleep in the college, definitely not. Sleep at the inn. Oh, they'll remove the dead bodies at last. It's not before time.
How are we doing over here?
How can I argue with that? Okay, just
I'm gonna head out in the morning. Got something I want to check out, but you know what you have to do.
There's plenty more where that came from.
Yeah.
Just give a holler.
I think this bed is still available, I hope. Hello. Maybe this is my room actually. I paid for this. Or whatever.
Yes?
I think it's time for a drink. Let's see if this innkeeper won't give us a discount.
Yeah, you go for it, Zora. We're going to have a rest of time, is it? Yeah. It's been a long day of travel as well, plus the unexpected encounter I had. Good night. Needs to sleep.